Hey guys, how's it going? How is your beautiful day going on this beautiful evening slash day, whatever it is to you? So as by the title, you guys understand that this video today is a running back tier list. We have made our team tier list and our quarterback tier list, and today is time for the running back tier list. So if you guys like this video, please leave it a like and go down and subscribe into the video, and let's get right into it. So I've looked at this list, and it's probably the best one that there is. The only thing is that there's not a single Jets running back on this list anywhere. So right now, I really don't think it matters either way. It's Breece Hall, the one that I'm going to be ranking, obviously, but he's not on this list because he really didn't play much this year. So yeah, I'm gonna rank Breece Hall right now. And also, I'm going to switch out Melvin Gordon for Javonte Williams. Breece Hall right now, I'm going to go with in the good tier. All right, now our first running back that has a face today is Aaron Jones from the Packers. Aaron Jones, I think he was elite at one point. Definitely last year he was elite, and then he comes into this year, and I think he did go down a peg. He's down a tier into very good, but he's definitely still a very good running back, and I still think he's one of the better starting running backs in the league. And then his 1-2 punch guy, or his 2-punch guy, is AJ Dillon. And AJ Dillon is a good running back. AJ Dillon would be he could be a starting running back on a lot of teams right now, I think. Alvin Kamara's all the way down to decent. This has nothing to do with like allegations that he has against him or anything. This is genuine how he's played. He's never had a 1,000-yard rushing season, to my belief. He has had like 800 in terms of receiving and running. But I mean, this year was a down year for him, and he didn't look he didn't look explosive. He really needs to have a comeback year, because this year he was on that decent tier. Austin Eckler is one of the better 5 running backs in the league, one of the top 5 in my opinion. The best dual threat running back in the league besides Christian McCaffrey. He's a threat at all times on the field. Brian Robinson is honestly meh. He's so inconsistent, and I think he only had one 100-yard rushing game in the entire season. So he really needs to pick that up, because those aren't great numbers. Cam Akers, the end of the season, Cam Akers played amazing football. But before then, he hadn't played very good. You got to be a lot more consistent than that to be above decent. I think he's a decent running back right now. Christian McCaffrey, obviously elite. I mean, I don't really have to say much there. Dalvin Cook, I think him and Aaron Jones are the same almost, is that they were in the elite tier last year. And they're slightly down this year. I mean, they're still both great running backs. They're just not, in my opinion, higher than they're not in that elite tier. These better running back tier any longer. Dameon Pierce is very good. Very much potential to get up to these tiers. I think Kenneth Walker outplayed him, and I still and now that I'm talking about him, I'll put him in the same tier. I don't think Kenneth Walker either is up in the very good tier, but they both are great potentials and great running backs. But as of now, I think they are on a good tier. DeAndre Swift is also on that good tier. DeAndre Swift is. I'll say he's also on that good tier. I think he needs a little bit of a different situation. The situation with the Lions now really favors the play style of Jamal Williams. That's why he's the main starter over there right now. But I do think DeAndre Swift right now is a better running back and a better potential than Jamal Williams, and I think he just needs to be in some team that knows how to use his talents a little bit more. Now I'm talking about Jamal Williams. I think Jamal Williams is decent. He's very serviceable for any team, but lower yards per carry. He got the workhorse in the red zone, which is why he got so many touchdowns. But I do believe that he's just a decent running back, and I think he needs a second running back to complement him for him to be a serviceable, starting running back. David Montgomery, I think, is also decent. I mean, this year was kind of a bad year for him, and I honestly don't see him getting much better. Derrick Henry is still elite. Devin Singletary is meh. The only problem with, I think, the Bills' offense right now is their run game, because their run game is almost 100% their quarterback, and Devin Singletary is not the guy for that job. Dante Foreman, he completely one of the most inconsistent players I've ever seen. I've ever seen. Like a 100-yard game, then a 20-yard game, then a 100-yard game, 20-yard. Just completely inconsistent. Zeke, you would want me to put him decent, but he's just going to keep regressing. Obviously, Tony Pollard, and we're going to be talking about him now, so he'll be next. Tony Pollard is a better running back on that team, almost by far. I think Zeke is just going to keep getting worse. He was great at some point in his career, but there's no resurgence coming. Tony Pollard is all the way up and very good. Every time that he got the starting carries when Zeke was out, and he got the abundance of those carries, he looked like an absolute one of the better running backs in the entire league, and he's just going to keep getting better. I see he's possibly going to be in that elite tier next year. Pacheco, very good, or good, but he has so much potential to get here. He has one of the most explosive bursts I've seen in a long time. Like when he hits a hole, he's going to get at least 5 yards. You cannot give Pacheco a hole. James Conner is meh. I mean, he's injured a lot of the time, and he's just not that good of a starting running back. Elijah Mitchell is decent. I think he's a good number 2 running back, but as a starter, I don't see it. J.K. Dobbins, I think he's averaged one of the highest yards per game when he is playing. J.K. Dobbins has such good potential, but right now he's not in that very good tier. He definitely has potential to get up there, but we got to see. He's so injury prone and doesn't play too much, so we need to see a full season of him going at full speed. Joe Mixon is here. Complete down year. He had one game where he had like 4 touchdowns, but besides that, it was a complete and utter down year for Joe Mixon. Jonathan Taylor, very off year. He was dealing with injuries all year, but I do see a bounce back year coming for him and probably getting back to that elite tier, but right now he's very good. Josh Jacobs solidified him in that elite tier last year. Just an amazing season for him. Latavius Murray, at the end of the season, I think he had a streak of 2 or 3 games where he had 100 yards. He had the game against Arizona where he had 130. He's still a serviceable running back. Is he a starting running back though? No. And he's just getting older. I believe he's about to be 33 or so as a running back. And yeah, he had a good year this year, but like I said, he's going to keep declining. And I think he's right now in his career is a perfect number 2 for any big run, like any of these running backs right here or right here. He'd be the perfect number 2 punch. Leonard Fournette is pretty close to that terrible tier, but we'll say he's meh. He just, there's a reason he got cut, you know. Melvin Gordon himself, terrible. Okay, worst running back in the league. But this is Javonte Williams. So Javonte Williams is I'm gonna put him in this tier only because he's such a great running back. His rookie season was so good. He was having a great season before he got hurt this season and tore almost every tendon in his knee. So the possibility for a comeback for him to be the same is not the best. So, which is why he's going to be good, but I hope he comes back. If he comes back as good as he was, I can see him getting to that elite tier within a couple years. He's also going to have to shake off some of the rust, but right now he is, I think, around the same tier as these 3, or as Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker, those young rookies who have played great. Miles Sanders had a lot better season this season, but I don't see him better than a good tier. I think their offensive line is so good that it made him look really good. If Derrick Henry had his line, he'd have 3,000 yards a season. Najee Harris is decent. He has the potential to get up in these tiers, but I mean, this season was so bad. Nick Chubb, self-explanatory. I don't really have to explain that. Raheem Mostert is meh. I mean, their running game's not very good, and Raheem Mostert fits that super fast lineup in teams, but he doesn't really do much more than just be fast, you know. And I'm honestly going to move James Conner and Leonard Fournette down to terrible. Ramondre Stevenson, very underrated season. He had a very good season, but he also had a lot of turnovers, and a couple turnovers that cost some games, especially a pitch back that didn't need to be pitched back. It is Jacoby Myers' fault for throwing it again, but I don't know what he was thinking by starting that whole pitchback situation. Right now, I'm going to put him in the decent tier. I think he has so much potential to get up into these tiers. Saquon Barkley, another self-explanatory one. He's elite. Travis Etienne had a great start to the season, The end to the season wasn't the best for him, though. I want to see a lot more of him next season. No. I think he's on that same tier as Ramondre Stevenson, like almost the same exact kind of thought process of they can definitely get up to those tiers, but this season didn't really do it for me enough to put them up. Algier, though, he does deserve to be in that good tier. Great season from him, coming in for Cordero when he was hurt and just playing amazing football. I mean, showing that he really does belong in this league, and I do see him along with Kenneth Walker and Dameon Pierce and Javonte Williams. I see all those guys and Isaiah Pacheco. This was on a very, very good running back class. A very good running back class. Honestly, I'm going to make two changes right now. I'm going to put Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker up in very good. Both of them amazing talents. Dameon Pierce is the only bright side of that Texans team this year. Kenneth Walker helped after Rashad Penny went out and played some amazing football, and Rashad Penny's actually not in this list now that I think about it. Rashad Penny would probably be around this good tier. So I do think both of them are up here. I'm going to rank these top running backs right now. I think Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL right now. I'm going to say Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is the best running back in the NFL right now. Christian McCaffrey, I'd say number 2. I'm going to move Austin Eckler down to very good. Here's the thing. Here's why. Because their run game, they do not run the ball a lot, and if they gave the ball to Austin Eckler every play, if they gave the ball to Austin Eckler as often as a lot of running backs get the ball in the run game, I don't think he would be as good. And yeah, he's a great passing threat, but honestly, I just believe that I don't see him on the tier of these guys. I really don't, because I was going to move him all the way down to 6, and then I'm like, well, I honestly don't think he should be on this tier in the first place. So Nick Chubb number 1, Christian McCaffrey number 2, and then I'd probably put Josh Jacobs number 5, Derrick Henry number 3, and Saquon number 2. Or actually, no, I'm going to switch these two. I think Derrick Henry obviously finished at 2nd in rushing this year, but again, it was still an off year, which is crazy that Derrick Henry in an off year still was 2nd in rushing. That is crazy. But he kind of only does it against the bad teams. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that stuff as well against really good teams. So I kind of think that Saquon's a lot better. That is the list. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. Go subscribe to the channel, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Till next time, see ya.